and welcome to the 30-day self-love series where we will be learning how to love ourselves again after a breakup. Because just like many of you, I have been through this phase where, you kind of just let the breakup get the best of you. And so I am here to help you learn how to love yourself again. And I'm so excited for this week because we will be learning how to build our self-confidence and raise our self-esteem. If there's anything in this video that resonates with you, please share it with your friends so that they can hop on this journey with us. Without further ado, let's get to the video. So the first week was all about acceptance and facing some hard truths about ourselves and taking, the little steps to work on that by journaling, by being consistent with our self-care checklist and making sure we are aligning ourselves with that overall goal that we want. So in this next week, we're going to be focused solely on self-confidence and building our self-esteem. This is where I want to introduce all of you to the self-love inventory. This self-love inventory, it's here to help us literally live into that confident version of ourselves. It was inspired by these Netflix guys on TV. Gosh, I can't remember the name. Hold on. I found it. So this self-love inventory was inspired from the Queer Eye cast on Netflix, which, by the way, if you haven't watched, I highly recommend watching. It's about these three guys who come in and actually help change people's lives by actually helping them learn to love themselves and learning, to just raise the quality of their life and like how they feel about themselves internally. So highly recommend it. But in this self-love inventory, we will be going over things like our appearance, our environment, our mental health, and the foods that we eat. By going into this, I want you to ask yourself some questions. So you can write this in your journal. I have my journal here with me. I want you to think about the person that you want to be in the world. So ask yourself, how does she dress? What's her self-care routine? How does she treat her friends? How does she treat herself? What are her thoughts about herself? How does she carry herself around the world? Really hone in on any other questions that might pop up when it comes to thinking about the person that you want to be in the world. How does she speak? What language does she use? How does she dress? How does she treat strangers? Questions like that. So take a moment to pause the video and come back to this one. And once you are done answering those questions, it is time to dive deep into the self-love inventory. To start off, we will be going over the appearance. So think about the most confident version of yourself. Picture your most confident self in your mind. And I want you to take inventory of their skincare routine, their hair, and their clothes. So for skincare example, do you have your face wash? Do you have serum? Do you have moisturizer? Do you have that body lotion? And don't be afraid to go a little crazy with this. If you want little gels, face masks, or like body scrubs, bath salts, okay? All of that is included in this. Don't be afraid to take inventory of this because yes, you will be getting all of this next week. Honey, you will be getting all this. That's why you're basically making your self-love grocery list is basically what we're doing right now. Moving on, we're gonna be moving on to our hair care. Okay, so this was like a really big deal for me because recently I have been wanting to get on wigs, okay? Because I've been doing my hair. I've been doing like balayage, but it's like damaging it, and I don't want to damage my hair, I'm trying to be like a healthy girl, okay? I want to be a healthy girl. So hair, okay? How does the most confident version of you, what is her hair like? Hair is power, and that's why I'm about to hop on wigs, okay? Because sometimes I want blue hair, sometimes I want blonde hair, and sometimes I want red hair, I want to mix it up. What is it for you though, okay? How does the most confident version of you keep up with her hair? Does she have wigs, or does she just have really great hair products? Does she use hair masks? I need to use hair masks. Okay. And number 3, ooh, the fun part, the makeup, the lashes, the nails. Okay, I do understand that self-esteem at the end of the day comes from within, and sometimes it doesn't matter how much stuff we're like adding to the outside, it won't change what's on the inside. But right now, we're just having a little bit of fun, and we're doing that inner work though too by doing our journaling and by keeping up with our self-care checklist and reflecting on the areas that we need to work on. Okay, that's how we're working on our self-esteem internally. But now we're adding just a little bit of spice to it, you know, just a little bit of fun, a little bit of sugar. Take inventory of her makeup. You know, does she have lashes? Mine does. She got those, you know, those nice fluffy lashes. Her nails. Does she keep up with her nails? Are her toenails done? The most confident version of me definitely has her toes pretty, okay? Her toes are done. They're kept up with. They're not cracked. They're not ugly, okay? Because if they're looking dry and thin and like ugly, like it's time to change that, okay? So take note of these things. Lastly, we're gonna take inventory of our wardrobe. What does the best version of you wear? Is it like streetwear? Are you wearing heels and skinny jeans? What's the style? Like, what do they wear? I know for me, I like a mixture of both streetwear and a little bit of classy. This week is all about spoiling yourself and not feeling guilty at all for it, because you know that you're doing it to align yourself to the most confident version of you. We are literally doing the work to become that version of ourselves, okay? What are you wearing? Because like what you wear determines how you feel as well. If you put something on that makes you just feel 10 times more confident and you just feel snatched and you just feel like, ooh, like, okay, like I feel good, I feel sexy, you know, I want to show it off, then it makes a difference in the way you feel about yourself and the way you carry yourself in the world. And so that's why I'm like really big on, you know, outfit in the gym clothes, you know, going to the gym, because going to the gym can be a very scary place for people sometimes. It's fun to look good because you also feel good too. And when it comes to the gym, it makes you just want to work out 10 times harder, you know, show off a little bit. Now moving on from clothes, we will be diving deep into our environment. I like plants, you know, my style is very, I guess you could call this like, I don't know what you call this, bohemian, a little bit modern. I don't really know what you would classify this as, but that's my style, that's what I like. So in this category, we want to make sure that you're looking at your environment. You know, how does your bathroom look like? Is it a mess? Are there hot Cheetos in the counter? You know, like clean it up. Does the best version of yourself have, you know, food in her bedroom? You know, does she have like clutter everywhere, you know? Because if you have clutter, it's time to clear that clutter, okay? Because the best version of you is not going to come through that clutter. You've got to make space for her. You've got to clear it all out, okay? Okay. And now, last but not least, my favorite part is taking inventory of our mental, our thoughts, our attitude. Because when it does come to self-esteem, it comes down to the way you feel and what you think about yourself. So if you're not even aware, number one, of the thoughts that you think that contribute to your self-esteem, then that's a step. We've got to see like, oh, how do I feel about myself? What am I thinking about myself? Like, am I constantly thinking, oh my God, I look stupid or I look bad? Or am I thinking thoughts of, oh wow, like, you know, I feel really self-assured in what I'm doing and how I'm walking in the world. I'm a loving person, I'm a good person, I'm a reliable person. These thoughts are all going to contribute to how we move in the world and how we show up. This is like a really good way to get clear on where you're at. And this also does take a lot of self-awareness. So that's why it's so important to be journaling. So y'all better have y'all's journals, okay? Because this is like a miracle worker, okay? I want to add here in this mental part is affirmations, because a long time ago I did this and I'm going to start them again this week too with you.
Affirmations are just affirming things that align you with the highest, most confident, best version of who you are. So affirming things like, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am loved, I am worthy, I am good. Affirming those statements about yourself will eventually align you with those truths. So then you can start reflecting those things about you more versus reflecting this insecurity or this not feeling enough, kind of version of yourself, which can be easy to fall into after a breakup. While we're going over our self-affirmations, since we are working on our self-confidence, I think it's important to know what self-confidence is. And for me, self-confidence is knowing who you are and being proud of who you are, but also being humble enough to know the areas that you need to work on. It's saying, I know who I am, I love who I am, and I know the areas that I need to work on, and I'm doing my part to fix those parts of myself so that I can be a better version for myself and for other people. I think a good thing to have is a foundation based off your values. Shout out to Brene Brown, she's the one that taught me this. Taking time to understand what are your top 3 values is going to be really important when it comes to becoming the most confident version of yourself. So for me, my top 3 values I've come down to are health, love, and courage. A good way to understand what your values are is really reflecting on your life and what matters most to you. What are you not willing to sacrifice? I'm not willing to sacrifice my health for anyone. If my health starts to decline, I'm like, oh shit, like I need to get back on track, like this isn't good for me, yada yada yada. I need to keep up with my health in order to survive and in order to be the best version of myself. I need to be healthy. So that's like a top value for me. So really reflect on this part. This is going to be a vital and very important part on your journey to becoming the best, most confident version of yourself. When fixing your self-esteem, building your self-confidence, you've got to know who you are. And by knowing who you are, you have to know your top 3 values. You've got to. There's just no way around it. You can go and read all the books on success. They will all tell you the same thing. You need to know what your values are. Because if you don't know your values, you don't really know yourself the way you think you do. Again, we're here to get real with ourselves, okay? So I'm really excited to dive deep into this week on self-confidence and just spoiling ourselves. That is all that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys next week. And that is all that I have for you all today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And if there's anything in this video that really resonated with you, please share it with your friends so they can hop on this journey with us on learning how to love ourselves again. I will see you guys next week for an inside look on how this self-confidence and raising our self-esteem week looks like. So stay tuned and I'll see you guys again. Love y'all. Mwah.